Well, it's time now for a look through the French papers with Diptyque Laurent. Hi, Diptyque. Thanks for joining us. It's President Emmanuel Macron's first full day in office, and he's got a busy day ahead.
That's right. From En Marche to En Charge, that's what Les Echos, the French business paper, says on its front page. From En Marche on the move to En Charge, he's in charge now. And as you said, he's got a busy day ahead of him. First of all, he'll have to announce his much-awaited choice of Prime Minister. He'll then head to Berlin in the afternoon for his first diplomatic meeting with Chancellor Angela Merkel. It's a bit of a tradition in France for a new president to meet with her as the first diplomatic visit. Irrespective of his choice for Prime Minister, though, Haxi, Macron's team will no doubt be comprised, in part at least, of young people, according to Les Echos. In its editorial today, they call it le coup de neuf, an injection of youth newness that's almost all but guaranteed for his new cabinet.
And this really is the beginning of a new chapter in France, isn't it? At least according to 20 Minutes, which is a local street paper.
That's right. The street paper calls it a change of era. Macron's presidency is far from the bling-bling omnipresence of Nicolas Sarkozy, but it's not also, nor is it as simple as François Hollande's quote-unquote normal presidency. Macron has renewed ties with the, quote, classics, the tradition of French presidents, but he's also putting his own spin on things. La Croix says, the Catholic paper La Croix says, we're at the beginning of an extraordinary renaissance or rebirth. They re-quote Macron in their front page today, saying that his first walk as president, it was his first walk as president. They hail his desire to repair France and give the country a taste for the future. The paper also approved of Macron's decision to re-quote what he said he personally learned from each of the presidents who ruled the country before him in the Fifth Republic.
Now, Paris-based paper Le Parisien today is warning that for Macron, the serious work really starts today.
That's right. Le Parisien says, from En Marche to Ça Marche, everyone seems to like those play on words with the name of his movement. That's on the front page of Le Parisien, which says, now that it's time for his strategy to be put in place, we want it to work. We want it que ça marche. That's what they say. The paper says on its front page that really the serious work begins today with the nomination of the Prime Minister. Le Parisien's editors also speak of what they call the end of the political ice age in France. It's as if Macron's election represents a political thawing, bringing hope to the French people who are usually so pessimistic. And Macron's election really makes him believe that anything's possible. In fact, as you see in this cartoon, he's almost like an alien-like figure in France. Ranson, the cartoonist, illustrates here. This woman says to her partner, oh, he's handsome, he's young, he's brilliant. And he says, albeit slightly jealous, in a jealous way, he says, aren't you scared that he'll head back into his flying saucer as soon as the going gets tough?
Too good to be true. Macron is receiving words of encouragement from other newspapers too, isn't he?
Good luck. That's what Libération, the left-leaning paper, says on its front page, with a really nice, beautiful photo there highlighting that moment of the transition of power between Macron and François Hollande. The paper hails Macron's inauguration ceremony, calling it impeccable and without fault, while Le Figaro, the right-leaning paper, says it hopes that Macron will succeed in achieving all that he wants to, and especially in injecting confidence and prosperity into France. But the paper is nonetheless looking at his challenges ahead that, of course, will include naming his prime minister his first task, but also forming the other government members of his cabinet, which is expected, today and tomorrow. Le Figaro says the casting of Macron's government is starting to take shape. Rumors are that he might choose a man called Edouard Philippe, who is a man close to Alain Juppé, as his prime minister. If it is the case, it would allow Macron to launch the, quote, dislocation of the right-leaning party in France.
And Macron, we've been talking about it all morning, is set to visit Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, today in his first diplomatic meeting.
That's right. The French president must still seduce Brussels and Berlin. His battle is not over yet. That's what Libé says. Macron wants to re-establish trust in the Franco-German couple. He has also indicated that he wants Europe to, quote, get a move on, and will be discussing with Merkel, no doubt, his desire for European reforms, like reforming the euro currency, something he's talked about during his his electoral campaign. But Libé says these ideas have already been shut down, in particular by German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble, who wrote an article in a German paper calling them unrealistic. So certainly he's got some challenges ahead of this visit to Germany.
And finally, there's been a lot of focus on what a suit Macron was wearing yesterday. It makes a nice change.
That's right. A lot of focus actually coming from his own team. And we find out from Huffington Post that it was a deliberate communication strategy from Macron's team to tweet. If you were following Twitter yesterday, you'd have noticed that they were tweeting out things like Macron's suit cost 450 euros and was purchased in a shop in central Paris. Huffington Post reports that this was a direct reference to François Fillon and his 12,000 euro suits, but also an explicit gesture to break with the image of Emmanuel Macron as this ultra-rich banker. And it wasn't just him, it was also his wife. His team tweeted out saying that she was wearing a Louis Vuitton suit, and I must say she looked great in it, but they did say that the suit was only on loan.
Diptyque Laurent, thank you very much for taking us through that whiz through the French papers.